Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.
7 Mile Radio.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Taste. Welcome to She Said What She Said, period. It's going to be a good podcast today. Good show, good show.
Somebody's phone.
Is that mine?
Mine. I forgot to do that. My bad. You know, Mark, we trying to get us together.
No, I just be wanting y'all to
You
be
right,
heard.
though, you know.
I just want y'all to be heard. I don't want the audience to hear the phones in the back, but yeah. Because they need to hear what you're talking about. They need to hear what y'all got to talk
You
about
absolutely
today.
right. Just one moment,
You know what I'm saying,
guys.
And we got a lot to talk about. You know, because there's
Yeah,
a lot
we
going
got
on in the
a
world
whole
today.
lot
There's a lot going on in
to
the
talk
world
about.
right now.
Oh, see?
Maybe it's the phone clamp turning the volume up.
Nope, I got it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I keep thinking it was me.
Yep. What's going on, Amber?
We getting it together. It's a little difficulties right now, but we getting it together. But hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Today is going to be, welcome to my podcast. I am Taste, your lovely, beautiful, I'm
All
Ginger
of that.
Girl today.
Ginger Girl,
Host.
Gingerbread girl.
Host. I'm not the green giant today. You know, the Joker, as my kids call him. Mommy, you look like Joker with that color in your head.
You know what?
Fine ass Joker.
I was going to say.
But yeah, welcome to the podcast. Today, you know, it's a lot of stuff going on in the world that we are living in, and that is my topic. The world we are living in, and it's a hellified war that we are living in. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in America, and it's very, you know, I'm very like touched by it as a mother, you know, because it saddens me that our kids can't be safe. You know, we expect for them to go off. We drop them off, get them ready, and we drop them off at school. And we're not thinking about nothing negative that's going to go on. And we just want them to be safe. And then we head off and we go to work. And we're not thinking about nothing.
Because you, in your mind, you're dropping them off at a safe place.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to go wrong here.
Right.
Who's going to come
We
here
not
and
thinking
harm? How
nothing.
are kids going to get
Not the school
harmed
district.
at the school?
No,
Right.
not at the school. But today, I'm going to be discussing what just happened in Texas. Even 2 weeks prior to this incident, something happened in the flea market in another part of Texas. I think it was like close to Houston. So I will be discussing that as well, you guys. So just stay tuned or just, you know, join me. Come on, join in the live, the conversation, comment. I answer your questions. Call in the show during, like, later on in the show if you got any, you know, if you want to have something to say, talk about it or whatever, you got an opinion about it or you feel some type of way about it, Mark is going to have the number posted where you can call in later towards the end of the show. But right now, I just wanted to take a moment and pray because we need it. And I know a lot of my prayer warriors out there, and whoever believe in it, it works. So, moment of silence. Let us pray. I pray for healing. I pray for improvements. I pray for our children. I pray for our mothers and fathers. I pray for a change in our world. I pray for the people. I pray for everyone that is struggling or everyone that is going through something right now during this particular time. I pray for those families that lost their little loved ones. I pray for their friends. I pray for their family as well, just their immediate family and a school family that they grew a connection with. I just pray for this world to just heal. Because it's just so, it saddens me that it has to come to this. And this is not just the first incident. It's just keep happening and happening and happening. And when is enough is enough. So I pray for everyone who lost their loved ones. It was 19 lives lost, including 2 adults, so 21 total. In heaven's name, Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So yes, if you guys are not aware, I don't know, you should, if you're living up under a rock, you should be very aware of what has happened this past week, this week, what has happened, and then 2 weeks prior in Texas. I don't know what's going on, but
or a week ago in Buffalo.
yeah, in Buffalo, I don't know what's going on in this world, but especially Texas lately, it's just been popping off with some negative shit. Before I get started, I'm sorry. I do want to introduce. I do want to introduce because we about to get into it, and I don't want to go into the show later into the show and then get further into my show without introducing my new co-host. You didn't know that, Amber. Yes, she is my new co-host, guys.
I mean, she only been here every show. You
Right, and
know
you
that.
know she
Like,
loved
I didn't
coming
know
on the
that.
show.
Yeah,
So
this
I
is
was like,
come
why
on
not
now.
let her, let her know. Let's see if she wanna, I
So
came
now
up with
now it's official.
right. I came up with
Official.
something. I was like,
Bam.
I presented it to her, and she's my new co-host.
There it is. There it is.
Here
There it
and
is.
ready and thank
Bam,
you.
I'm so
bam.
excited.
Well, welcome to the family,
And I
damn
cannot
it. Welcome
hide
to the
it.
family. She should have brought her to the. Did she come to the traffic jam with you?
No, she didn't.
I was sick.
Oh, that's what it was.
We got another
well,
one coming
we
up,
planning
my
another.
birthday.
Yep, we planning another one real
Okay.
soon. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
I'ma
so
be there.
So enough about the jolly. Like it is a sad
it
day.
is.
So let's get back into it. So yes, the shooting happened in Texas. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing the city right. Is it Europe?
I don't know how to
Let
pronounce
me look it up before we
Yeah.
continue.
Was that Robb Elementary School?
Yeah, Robb Elementary School. Let me
Yeah,
look
I
up
want to
the
make
city.
sure because sometimes stuff be looking like it be silence and
Yeah, and I don't think I heard anybody
Get it
even
right.
mention like the city. They
Yeah.
just keep saying like here in Texas, and I'm like, how do you pronounce that?
because where it's at, I think it's a lot of Mexicans in that town. Because when I was watching
Yeah.
the news and was watching it on YouTube,
I think
and
it's called.
everywhere
I think it's
CNN.
Valday, Texas.
Valday.
Valday. I think that's how you pronounce
Okay,
it.
Valday, Texas. It's at Robb Elementary School.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the area where it's a lot of Mexicans because it looked like a lot of Mexicans.
Yeah, it was
And a lot of the students looked like they were Mexican.
yeah.
So I guess it's a small town in Texas. Not discriminating against, I don't care what color it is.
Right.
Race, I don't care what race it is. A human is a human.
Right.
And everybody, it's not right to take no one's life. Period. So I'm going to talk to you about what happened that particular day. So it was like 11:32. The shooter, he started early. I guess he woke up.
So he killed his grandmother first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I heard
Nope.
that she's not dead.
Really?
He shot her in the head. I was watching some
She
stuff
probably won't
earlier.
live. She old.
They're expecting her to live though.
Oh,
That
I
was the
don't know.
kind of crazy part because Greg even said he was like, "How was she?"
Yeah.
But he did shoot her because I thought she was
I'm
dead. But
like-
I did see something that said that he just shot her and she's supposed to be expected to live. So I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure.
What on that?
Yeah, so for right now, they said he killed her.
Yeah.
So the shooter killed his grandmother first. Then he crashes his car near the school. Mm-hmm. This is what they say. I love CNN, and CNN reporting this shit. They do it right.
Right.
And then they say he had on body armor,
Right.
and then he walked into the school at 11:32, and he just started shooting whoever was in his way.
Yeah. They said.
But I'm like, how did he get his ass into the school?
They say he shot. There's a cop that there's a school police officer that like sits in the parking lot. He shot him first. That's how he got into school.
Oh, see, they didn't mention. I didn't hear
I
that.
saw something on that when I was just
I'm like,
researching for
every
today.
school should have a security
Yep.
guard outside the school. Period.
He shot and killed
and
the
cameras
cop.
before you enter and like buzz them in.
Yep, he shot and killed the cop before he got into the school. That's how he was able to get into the school. But it's such a small town that I think it was just like one cop there.
But we gotta stop thinking that we stand in these suburban areas and these kids are going to these uppity schools that it does not happen. Because check this out. Did you hear anything happening in the city? Ain't shit happening in the city like that.
Part of the reason why it
How you
doesn't
ever
happen
heard
in the
that?
city.
Right,
Part of the
yeah.
reason why it don't happen in the city is because we have
Metal
metal
detectors.
detectors and we have
detectors, yeah.
security guards.
Security
And now,
guards
and it's
on our
crazy.
shit.
It's crazy because I believe it's a school in Florida now where there were two former combat veterans that have now volunteered to do security
At the
It was
school?
at the
Oh,
school.
okay.
See?
And now it's
Yeah, we need more people
and
like
of
that.
course, right, but see the catch
Yeah,
to
we
this,
definitely need more people like
but
that.
listen, the catch to that is, of course, there's backlash from that, right? There's some people that feel like he shouldn't be in the school with the guns, and it's just threatening to the kid. But it's like, wow, we have the same type of setup in the public schools in the city where you have security, sometimes armed security,
Yeah.
in the school, and that's the reason why not only the students don't act like that, but we don't have people coming from outside of the school coming in because it's armed security. And also we have DPS police,
Yeah.
right?
Mark.
A whole
Always
dedicated police force for the school system. So maybe we need to implement more of that out in the suburbs.
Yeah, so whoever that's in part of the school district, when we be voting, we need to get this shit together because something needs to be done because it's happening too fucking much. It ain't like it's just one thing that happened and it ain't happening no more. Like
There's been 200 plus
yes, it's happening too
mass
much.
shootings this year.
That don't make no damn
wow.
sense.
This year, and they just don't report on it.
Right. Now, see, this is what I thought was kind of interesting about it too, because there's also it's not just the protection of the children in the schools too. It gets bigger than that because
absolutely.
This is a gun that he purchased that you can purchase at any Walmart or wherever
Yes,
they
he
sell.
purchased 2 rifles,
Right,
for his 18th birthday.
Right, and that was the other thing. He's only 18.
18.
5 days into being 18, I think I heard. So he walks in and he purchased
Young
these guns
ass.
that he purchased these guns prior to this incident and then posted them on
his
social
social media.
And
I'm perplexed.
And TikTok.
The reason, right? I'm perplexed at the reason why he did this per se, or allegedly being bullied over his clothes. So he didn't have money.
We gotta stop this shit.
He didn't have money to get clothes, and I'm not judging him per se, but it's like he didn't have the money or the resources to get good clothes. We had the money and the resources to get a good gun.
Right.
Exactly.
Get good guns.
Does that make sense? That don't even make sense. But you got to realize it. They are teaching these young kids how to shoot early. You know what I'm saying? They learning how to shoot, hunt deers and rabbits, and then even in Afghanistan, they teaching their kids 5-6 years old over in another country how to shoot. So we got to stop this. I think that's why it starts with the adults. If it's not starting with us, then how would they get they're gonna be off balance. It's starting with us as parents. We gotta really because we see what's going on, unless you definitely not paying no fucking attention. And that's why I want to go back into with his grandmother. Why is he with his grandmother?
right, because
Where are the fucking parents?
Right.
Why is he with his grandmother? We gotta stop as adults. If you feel like you can't, have no kids and you can't really be there to support them, or if they pass away or whatever the case, don't have them because she's probably elderly and she ain't probably on a good terms of health to be taking care of raising a boy. In today's world, because they
especially a
crazy.
teenage boy.
Yes.
That mind state.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I can
don't
imagine, right? I can
understand.
imagine that he was probably, it's just throwing the theory out there, right? He was probably one of those delinquent, kids that the parents, the mom couldn't handle. The dad probably
Right.
already wasn't in his life.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Maybe
Mom couldn't handle him, so now
Maybe
he
she
goes
was
to
a
live with
single parent
grandma,
mother.
and now he's in a more lenient atmosphere that caused him to develop into the person that he is right now.
Yep, that part.
And then there you have it. Rest is history.
So
And that's the thing. That's sad. That saddens me because I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on?
right. And then how did he get those guns in the house and you just chilling with guns in the house? Your grandma didn't notice you brought them
But
in?
you know what? A lot of the
or-
times the parents not really paying attention to their kids.
Yeah.
And if they not paying attention to their kids are doing whatever. Look what happened in Connecticut with the Columbine shooting a long time ago where he did the bomb. He's
Gregory-
building a bomb in his room.
Gregory made a good point. Said one simple background check
Yep.
Yeah.
could save 21 lives.
That's the husband.
But you know
Yep,
what?
yep.
I don't think it's the it's more so not even the background check. This boy had issues a long time ago.
Yeah.
And we as parents, we ignore those damn issues. And we think, oh, they okay. Or
Not
we
paying
be like,
attention.
oh, well, I don't want to put them away because that's my grandson
They're
or
just
that's my
kids.
son.
This-
they
look, it's
kids.
just
They'll
a
grow out of it.
phase. It's
It's
just
the
a
phase.
phase.
No, that shit ain't no phase. We need to wake up. And we need to, if we notice it, because if I'm noticing my daughter or my son is acting a particular way at a young fucking age,
You got
I'm
to know the
like,
difference between a phase and a mind state.
Right.
yes.
When you start to see things become a pattern, like what Taste is about to say, you start to see, you know how your child is at
Yeah.
one age. You start to see these things become patterns and this ongoing behavior, patterns of behavior.
I'm taking that
You
shit
gotta
to
check
heart.
that. You gotta
I'm
check that. You
checking
gotta
it.
nip it in the bud some kind of a way. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
And then like with the social media thing, I don't know if like I don't know how, because I know your baby is little, so but I don't know like how you are with your kids and their social media. Now my kids, I follow them on social media.
I
And-
do, but then I need to be more like really checking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I talk to them about whatever they post. Like, don't post certain things and don't be talking to certain people
Mm-hmm.
because they covering up. Because these people are really, they not really no teenagers. They
Right.
disguise and to be teenagers because they can be grown ass pedophile men.
Right.
You don't know. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So be very cautious of who you be talking to on social media. Now I do tell my kids that, but I need to start like really checking they shit out like I supposed to with my oldest. Now they the only ones that's on that.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. Now my older ones are on social media now. Of course,
And TikTok.
and TikTok. They've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Now I've gotten a lot of different social medias just because of my daughter. So my boys are, of course, my bonus kids, but because of her, she got into social media so young, and we didn't have all of that.
We did.
There
We
was
had a fucking page
there
and
was-
a house phone.
was there internet. When did the internet even become a thing? Like this.
Shit, girl, I don't even fucking know.
2000s.
So there you go. So
Yeah.
we didn't grow up with
We
all
was
of this.
grown.
But I get on her
About it,
stuff
right.
and I watch it, but I don't watch it as much now that she's older that I did when she was younger.
That's what I said. I
And
need
then
to start more.
Yeah, and it's kind of like even simple things like you said, you know your kids, right?
Absolutely.
So and it's
Shit.
even grandparents. Like my parents, they know my kids. You know what I'm saying? If this was to happen with one of my kids, I would be shocked. First of all, because my kids, with the exception probably my oldest son who is grown, I'm checking on them. What you doing? What are you doing? You know,
We need to do that.
you need to do that. Your door in your room can't be closed too
Hell
long
no.
without me coming in, peeking in, or you're not gonna spend days upon
Yeah.
in a room with the door closed and I haven't come
Hell
and checked
no.
on you. Or
We going in there when we have to do that as parents.
yeah, and then like if you're saying like it's about clothes. What about that? Making something like it's how up here we have uniforms, so we alleviate some of those problems. But we don't
You
do
know
that
what?
kind of
and
stuff.
that was a system that was implemented in Detroit public schools
Yeah. With the
20
uniforms.
years
Years
ago,
ago, yep.
and for that specific purpose.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was kids in the hood that some had parents who had more money than others, right? Especially because of the 80s, right? The
Right.
dope era, and when I ain't gonna go that deep into it, but that's the point, right?
Right.
Some kids had more resources than others, and to equalize it, so some kids wouldn't get teased. They had uniforms come
Right.
into play. But why is that not the thing now?
And I'm confused because if he's 18, this is an elementary school. Why did he choose this school?
Why did he choose?
Yeah, this
elementary school?
particular school.
And he's gone now, so that's
and they
a question
teasing
we'll
him.
never be
They
able to
teasing
ask
him at his
At a
school.
high school, right.
So why are
Right.
you going to this particular elementary school? Did you
Elementary
used to
school.
go here? Maybe he used to went there. I don't know what the fuck people do. What the fuck they do?
Right.
I don't know what was in his head. But a question I wanted to ask you, as a parent, what are your thoughts? Like, what if you know what I'm saying? If you was in that situation as a parent, how would you feel towards this? If you was right now, you was in Texas, get a call, kids. Oh, it's an emergency call at that because they ain't speaking calmly. First off, you better not speak calmly to me. You get a call that it's been a shooting. The school is on lockdown, however they do it. What are your thoughts on it?
I would lose,
How do you feel?
I would lose my mind. For one,
In this day and age,
it's
wow.
right, and
Lose your
then
mind.
these are my kids are older, and so you it's scary no matter what, right? But if they're
Absolutely.
older, they may have a little bit more in tune to be able to like hide or duck here or do this or do that. With these are babies. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking about
They
how
not.
to protect themselves in this kind of situation because their mind hasn't even gone there. They still watching cartoons and things. Oh my God! When you ask me, I got chills. Like
I know because I can't even think
imagine.
about it.
I can't imagine. Like, and these are babies.
I know.
Like babies.
I'll be done. My mind will be all over the place. I'm just praying if I make it there. Because
Right.
my mind will be all over the place just to get a phone call.
And I think I had read something too that some of the children they had to, now I don't know how true it is or not, but some of them they had to use DNA to identify some of the bodies.
Oh my God.
Because of the damage that has been
sad.
done, and these are your itty bitty, like you said. You drop them off to
Little
school.
kids,
You're not
elementary
thinking
school.
about nothing else. You know, I'm going off to work. I'm going off to my day. Not thinking about anything, and then to
Boom.
know that my baby's not coming home to me.
And this is like this is in the morning.
First thing in the morning,
you
like,
just dropped them off a couple hours ago.
girl, I've been had a whole heart attack. I honestly, no matter what age my kids are, I honestly don't know how the hell I would deal with that. And
Yeah,
it's-
even if they was in high school, I just don't care if it was middle school, high school, whatever the case may be. Just to get a call to say any of my kids something has happened, I'm flipping. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing my fucking mind because I'm dropping them off at the safest fucking place.
Yeah.
So we think,
yeah.
and we not thinking about nothing fucking else. We thinking that the school, we got the teachers, we got the security guards or whatever, that my kids are going to be protected. They are in the school.
Yeah.
And we not thinking that somebody going because they having a bad fucking day,
Right.
that they finna walk up in this bitch at 11:32 in the morning and act a fucking nut.
That's crazy.
When all you could have did to end it, I don't promote violence and none of this shit. But if you feeling like that and you on the edge like that, nigga, kill your fucking stuff. And then that's it. Take your shit. If that's how you feeling, I'm sorry to say, you should have dealt with that shit and killed yourself instead of taking your grandmother's life, the security guard's life, and 19 kids and 2 adults.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because you could have ended all that right then and there. We wouldn't even be going through this right now. Because I'm really like pissed off. Because I'm like, if that was my child, what would I don't even fucking know what I would do. Like, you literally wrote the fuck up. Well, you planned this shit out first off. Because this wasn't let me get up today and let me do this.
No.
This is all planned out.
Premeditated.
Right.
Yes.
The body armor and all of
You
that.
planned this shit out. You just
And that's why they killed me with the whole narrative of mental disorder, just like with the dude in Buffalo. Like, he had the mental capacity to get up that morning, get in the car. He knew where he was driving, load the gun,
Oh yeah, they
get
gonna label
armor
that
up,
as a mental disorder.
and then
of course.
and then go through the store or the school like you was playing Call of Duty. So you had enough sense to do all of that, but now once it happened, it's like mental disorder.
And see, that kind of tables back with your with the podcast from last week. You know, that's another reason why people don't get help for their mental disorders, because
Right.
they take instances like this and then label it. Oh, there had to be a mental disorder. Well, why? Why are you saying that?
So
You know?
while we on the top of
It diffuses the severity
It
of actual
does.
mental disorder cases. No
Right.
different than, I don't want to make the comparison, but when some women cry a crime that's against them
Right.
and they didn't really happen.
happened, like rape,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, crying wolf, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But while we talking about that, we're gonna speak on it just a little bit because Amber wasn't here last show, and the last show was mental disorder, and this is obviously he has some type of mental illness
Something,
going
yeah.
on within itself. But Amber is very aware of it. She is witness to it. She's living with it. She has bipolar. She's gonna discuss it. For those who don't know exactly what it is, she's going to discuss it a little bit for you. We just going to go into it just a little bit. I just wanted her to explain it a little bit and how she's dealing with it and what symptoms that she be going through so that people can be aware, because a lot of people may not think that they have it. And sure enough, they got something going on and they think that they are fine and they really not. So Amber, go ahead and explain it to us.
So I'm very open with it, like, because you found out from my rants on my page. So I got diagnosed bipolar maybe, I don't know, 2016. And something happened that I don't discuss what triggered it, but something happened with me. Yeah, it wasn't. So, but once I got diagnosed, I noticed that I probably should have been diagnosed with it a long time ago. And something happened. It triggered like a breakdown. I had a breakdown at work. I had to leave work. And a lot of people just attribute a lot of things to bipolar. You hear it like, okay, when the weather flip flops, people like, this weather is so bipolar out here. And,
Right.
you know, it's,
They being funny as fuck.
they being funny,
They
but
said in a
it's,
joking manner.
Right.
but you know,
But it's nothing to joke
it's
about.
not nothing to joke about, but because I have it, you can kind of joke of it like that. How Michigan is bipolar with our weather, that's kind of how it is. It kind of flips in and out. And the longer that I've had it, I'm able to recognize more when I may be going into like having like an episode is what we call it in my house. I don't
Okay.
allow it to define me, and I don't allow people to allow me to have bad behavior because I have
Absolutely.
been diagnosed with this, because that's not fair. So it's not fair to me or everybody else around me.
Absolutely.
So it's in combination with depression, and I have anxiety as well. A lot of times I just get really low.
Okay.
And I've learned through, and I do take medication because I did watch the show last week. I take medication.
Of course.
Of course, because I had to support. I was sick, and I was like, dang, I should have been right here. But I take medication. I have been on 10-15 pills, go down to 8, got to go back up to 10-15, whatever it takes for me to get myself even till. And so basically it's just really when it's a mood disorder. It's when you are not
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
able to control
that's
how
what
you
he's saying.
feel. And it does usually come in combinations with other things. There are also 2 levels. There's
So
bipolar
stuff
1.
can trigger it.
Stuff can trigger it. There's bipolar 1 and bipolar 2.
What's the difference?
Now, one, I remember when I originally got diagnosed, I looked it up, but I can't remember now. I know I'm bipolar 2, and I think 1 is more severe.
Oh, really? You would
Yeah.
think it'd be more calmer.
Yeah,
But the
one-
one is more severe.
One is more severe. And it's also a lot of things that I noticed. I have a family member that's also bipolar that I realized sometimes bipolar 1 is more severe. They create things. They've convinced themselves that this is what has happened, and they're going to tell you that this is what's happened, and you can't.
Like when somebody believe in their own lies.
When they
basically.
believe their own lies, but they really believe it. So as far as like with me with bipolar 2, it's mostly just highs and lows. Sometimes I feel great and I can do backflips if I can get my fat butt backwards, and some days if I can't get my fat butt backwards, I'ma just lie on the floor and be
Right.
sad. But never have I ever, this is why I'm saying when they label things mental disorder, it would make people not want to be honest with themselves with things that are going on.
Absolutely.
When they label these type of things.
Yeah,
because-
they'll think something's wrong with me because I'm this way. Like, I'm an
Right.
outcaster. No, you're still human.
Yeah.
We all go through shit. You're not the only one. Just because they may put this particular label on you doesn't mean that you're less of a person.
Right. And I've never been like, oh, let me get up and go shoot everybody today. Now, if it was somebody in particular that I felt like needed to get shot, I didn't shoot them, but I thought it. And that don't have nothing to do with no mental illness. Sometimes.
Yeah, but that's what they label. That's the first thing they say. And then even if he didn't even get, by the way, he did get gunned down,
Right.
and he died. But say that he didn't get gunned down, and they
Yep.
just take him to jail and take him to prison. First thing they're gonna say is mental. Let's put him in a crazy house.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And you got a full-fledged just killer there.
Let's put him in a crazy house.
And I think a lot of times it's easy to manipulate that because with mental health, right? It's so vague.
Yeah.
You can't tell somebody they're not feeling something
Yeah.
or they're not thinking something because you're not inside of my
You
mind.
don't know.
So you can't tell somebody.
What
that.
happened to the
Absolutely don't know.
term homegrown terrorists? What happened to that? Why don't we call them that? Why don't we have these people in that category now? It's always
No, you
mental
never
patients.
heard that. Neither.
Yeah.
Well, we seen that with Timothy McVeigh in Oklahoma City when he
Yeah,
bombed
but
the federal building.
You really don't hear them talk about it like that.
You don't hear them call any of these people who mass murder people in any other situations a homegrown terrorist, like what they did in Vegas when the dude was shooting from the roof
Yeah,
into
from
that fence where they
Mandalay.
called him a terrorist, right? But in any situation like this, they don't. Why? I wonder. What's the difference?
I don't know. I can't even. That's a good question. I don't even
Because
know.
if it was one of us that did something like that, we'd be a thug, right? We'd be a
Look,
yeah.
they got family issues. Oh, the daddy wasn't in his life.
Oh, it's always your
all
daddy
type of
fault.
shit.
pulling up
Oh,
the rap sheet of everything this person
I
did
don't
wrong
like that
from
shit.
kindergarten.
How they do us though? Like, don't do us like that. Oh, they had a bad childhood. They was on food stamps and they was on,
Right,
you
all
know,
that.
all that. Why there has to be? Why
does
are
that
we
have
labeled like
anything
that?
to do with it?
That ain't got shit to do
Why
with
is that
anything.
a part of the narrative? Why is that
Yeah.
a part of the story? Why is that important to what happened?
Right.
It has
Yeah,
nothing
that
to
don't
do
have
with what
shit to
happened.
do with anything. You know, this fool woke up He decided to do it this particular day and went nuts. And you know what I'm saying? He's fucking crazy. I don't even give a fuck what nobody say. He's fucking crazy. Something's been wrong with the little boy. And like I was saying earlier, like, are we looking at it as a child? How was he?
Right.
How was he as a child? What happened as a child? Because this shit ain't just happened overnight.
No, because
He been going through some shit.
he has, because the other thing that I saw when I was just kind of looking up, I was trying to find some information like about him or that kind of thing. Well, they said he been torturing animals. Well, ain't that the first sign?
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
That's the
They
first
say that's the
sign.
first. They say always pay attention, because if your
Yep.
kids are this particular age and they are torturing and killing animals, this is the first sign that something is going on with them. And when they get of age, they're going to be a terrorist to the world.
Yep.
Exactly what the fuck just happened.
Yep, and they said he was like torturing animals and posting it on social media, sending videos and stuff like
Come
that.
on.
Ain't that about a bit?
Yeah.
And then nobody do nothing about
And nobody,
this?
but now that he's killed all these people are coming out and being like, oh yeah, well, he tortured I don't know what kind of animals were, because they weren't specific, but I'm guessing it's probably like birds or rabbits, little animals, because that's how it starts. They start off with torturing birds and household pets and those kind of things. And then
This is
it
what I'm
turns
talking
into
about.
people.
Yeah,
And then
this
nobody
shit
says
not right.
anything, but now that he's killed all these children and these adults.
Yeah,
now,
don't speak on this shit now.
Now it's like, oh, well, the other day he posted a rabbit that he decapitated. Well, where was that when he did it? Because to me, I'm like, am I the only person that knows that they
Girl.
say it starts with animals? If I catch a
You
kid,
not. That's what the fuck they tell the world.
if I catch a kid stumping on a bird, I'm gonna be looking at that kid sideways for the rest of that kid's life. Like,
Yeah,
wait
like
a
you don't
minute.
see, like the bird is he's in.
It's a difference between a phase
Yes.
and a mind state.
Yes.
Absolutely, not. And you know good and well that the damn killing or torturing the animal is not a fucking phase. That's never a phase. Never in life that's a phase. And whoever say that's a phase, they need some help. They damn self.
Yeah,
Because
no.
that's not a phase. I don't care about no psychologists or whatever
Yeah.
saying that, oh, these little kids are going to go through stuff, or parents or whoever, the world, some of the people in the world may say something. Oh, yeah, this is this, and yeah, he was a kid and he didn't mean, no. We should have been looking at that. We should have been paying
Paying
more
attention.
attention.
Paying more
And we
attention.
should have been saying, we got to get this little boy some fucking help.
Yeah.
As bad as it may hurt us as parents, we got to get him some fucking help.
Yep.
Because like I said earlier, if it was mine, I done birthed her. I done went through all the shit I went through. But if it was mine, I don't give two fucks. As a parent, I want to protect my child.
Right.
I want to protect my damn self. And I want to protect the world.
That part. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Look what he done did to his grandma.
So I'm giving my child some help. It's as bad as it may hurt me. It may hurt me to a core, and I may feel a particular way. But I'll be damned if I have to deal with this bullshit like just happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that could have been prevented.
Yep. And then the stigma too, I think it goes with us too. Well, I don't want to give him help because I don't want people looking at us like,
Give a
oh,
fuck.
it's something wrong with him. But then look at the end result
Don't
when you
care.
don't get the help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people don't look at that too. You can be sitting there looking at this child, knowing something is wrong with this child, or like we all sit around
But
and
you worried
cry.
about how you're gonna make him feel if
Right.
you put him in a situation where it's
And you
helping
worrying
him.
about others.
Other people.
How
And-
what they
and then
gonna
what
say
they
about
gonna
what
say.
you did. Fuck about what nobody says. Right is right,
Yeah.
wrong is wrong.
So I'm just reading some of the comments, and is it Marcy? My glasses is
Yes,
terrible.
Marcy.
Marcy.
Yeah,
She said,
hey,
yeah.
Marcy girl.
They said he shot his grandma before he headed
Yeah,
out.
before
for
he
the-
headed
He
out.
really killed his grandma. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Well, Amber said there's a possibility she's not
She-
dead. I'm gonna
Yeah,
look it up.
she may not be.
I'm gonna look
But
it up
that's
now.
the
Go
first
ahead.
thing he did.
The
Then
first
he
thing he did was
crashed the
shoot
car
her.
near the school.
Oh, that was the other thing. So when we were watching it, he posted on social media that he was going to kill his grandma.
Oh,
Like, he made a status, I'm going to shoot my grandma.
What is
Then
going
he posted
on?
another status.
I didn't know that.
So it came out, I guess, after he had already made it to the elementary school. It had already, somebody had noticed the
Okay.
post.
New updates 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
what's that?
The
What they said?
18-year-old gunman messaged a friend that he had shot his grandma
Yeah.
and was planning to shoot up a school. The friend said the 19 children, two teachers were killed in the mass. Well, I guess the update was that he text messaged his friend
Okay, so it was a
after he
text
shot his grandmother that he was going to shoot up the school.
You know, like everybody always does stuff. even when people are committing suicide, everyone always tries to reach out to people before they do it. And that was his cry of help. I don't think the man, anytime somebody reach out to someone, I think he was thinking and planning it,
And
but
trying to
maybe he
decide.
thought that somebody will probably stop him and cared enough. That's why he was posting it so much. Maybe he was looking to see if somebody was going to look and
Right.
see and pay attention to what he was doing. And that's the fuck we failed. We
Yeah.
failed at that.
Yeah.
We failed because we didn't pay attention and we wasn't aware and we didn't acknowledge it. But Mark, look, I want everybody, if you're dealing with someone and you have a friend that may think that they are gonna, harm themselves, harm others, they thinking about doing some shit to the schools or whatever, doing some shit wherever they go. They're just thinking about doing something and it's not right. We need to speak up. So that hotline number, I want Mark to post it on the
Yeah, it's up there. I was about to ask you about-
1866 speak up.
Oh, that hotline.
Yep,
I was
that
different
hotline.
story. It was another one.
Yeah, I want people to know that, I don't care. You just say, well, you don't even got to explain yourself. You ain't got to let this person know who you are. Anonymously do it. Speak the fuck up. If you see it, let's catch this forehand before
Yep.
it leads to something else. Because if we would have caught that, because when it happened, when they say it happened,
Before he did it. So it was a bunch of stuff. First, he posted the guns. Those was a couple days
I saw
before.
that.
Yeah, so if somebody would have saw that, he got these new
yeah,
guns.
what is this young
about?
teenager doing with these type of guns?
And then he had sent some messages or to some friends on social media about the animal thing, so that if somebody had thought it was stopped and took a look at that, and then the friend that got the message that Mark said, well, he messaged the friend
After
about,
he shot his grandma.
After he shot his grandma, and then let him know about the school thing. Because I was thinking, okay, because they keep saying that he crashed the car at the school, so I'm thinking, okay, was he just on his way to his school, and because he crashed the car at that school, he decided, well, this is where I'm stopping. Like, I hate.
That's a strong possibility.
Because that's
that
what,
he decided that
Because
he
I believe
just
he
want
did.
to stop
I believe
here.
because I do believe
He
he
crashed
did
the
crash.
car.
He did.
So and then that may have been just so happened to be where he was at, right by that
Right.
school, and then he went in and did what he did because he shot the guy first. He shot the security
Yep.
guard outside, and that's how he got into school
Yep.
in the first place.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like, was he on the way to his school? You know what I'm saying? Because why the elementary
Maybe.
school? That makes no sense.
Because his school was making fun of him. Them was the people that was making fun of
Right.
him.
We talking about little kids, man.
Right.
Like fourth
But maybe
graders,
that's
man.
what he did.
Well,
That's,
see, then the other thing too is, do they not have like truant officers or something? Because if he just turned 18, he should still be in school, correct?
yeah,
So,
he's supposed
no,
to be in school.
He should have been at school at his school. It's 11:32.
Where you get called home and you gotta think about it. His grandmother's taking care of him.
That's true.
So this boy's probably getting off with a lot of shit that he may be
True.
doing a lot
He
of
might have
different
been
shit.
he may have been
His
expelled
grandmother
already
can
or
probably
something.
only do
Yeah.
so much. She probably can't really handle that boy.
Yeah.
She just probably didn't want to see him in no home.
Man.
You know, she was just trying to do her very best. But sometimes your very best, when I know that he didn't try some stuff, I'm pretty sure he didn't put his hands to his grandmother before. I'm pretty sure he has those type of anger problems
Yelling
that he
at her,
have
bucking
did
at
something
her.
for you to shoot and damn near you thinking that you're gonna kill or shoot to kill your grandmother, whether she's alive or not. He still shoot to kill. Something wrong.
And
I
then,
think
yeah,
he did
and-
something before.
And this
She was
updated
probably threatened by him.
in this updated article, they worded it as he shot his grandmother, not that he killed his grandmother. So it might be true.
So
that
yeah,
she
so
didn't
she
die.
might
Because
still be
they were
alive.
saying he shot her in the head, so I think that's why people were thinking like she died. 'Cause he
any
shot her in the
other
head,
way for you
know?
to just pick up a gun and then shoot someone that's been taking care of you and been raising you, because obviously your parents are not there. What type of heart do you fucking have? You know what I'm saying? For you to do that. So you don't have no ill feelings in your heart for you to do that. So ain't no telling what this little boy was doing in the household. This boy probably been causing all type of hell.
Yep.
And she probably didn't know what to do. She's probably terrified of him.
Yeah.
And she felt like, well, if I do this, he gonna kill me. Or he gonna do this. So I'm just not gonna.
He
No.
probably said it before.
Probably,
Yeah. I know he did.
Yeah.
I know he
Because
did.
that's easy to come out. I'm gonna kill you. You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes some stuff I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna keep that in the back of my head. I don't know. I don't trust nobody. My kids included, because
Hell no. Somebody say that to me, I'm taking that shit to heart.
And kids can turn on you. Your own flesh and blood
They
can
can.
turn on you.
They can.
And sometimes you have to pay attention to those signs. And I use
Yeah,
like
you do.
you know, my parents don't have the best relationship with one of my sisters, and I take their relationship with her as, you know, no matter how my parents raised us they raised us the best way they could. You know, we had food, we had clothes, we were loved, everything. We were both raised the exact same way. But if you look at her and you look at me,
Y'all two different
two
people.
totally different people, raised by the same mama, same daddy, and they don't have no relationship with her. And it's
And
just
that's
like,
sad.
I look at that like, you know, how can you not have a relationship with the child? At least her and my mom. You grew inside my mom. So like you're saying about the grandma, if she is stepping in and taking in the responsibility that your mother obviously could not do, how could you look that woman in her eye and pull a trigger at her?
Yeah, because
Period.
I'm wondering how long she had him. I'm wondering,
Right.
like, how long he was in her household.
Right.
Because
It's a
something,
lot of questions.
yeah, it's a lot of questions now.
And they're gonna be unanswered because
Yeah.
he's not here to
He's not
answer
here.
nothing. So you
And,
know,
and hopefully she pulls through. Hopefully she
I'm
makes
praying
it all
she
the way,
do.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm praying she do.
yeah, because that's crazy.
Yeah, because, you know, she never probably imagined that. She was just doing something out the
and
kindness of her
Marcy
heart.
said, if she wake up and find out what this boy
Yeah.
did, man, like
Yeah,
probably
she
wish
don't even know
she
that.
wish she was gone. Probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. That's
Because she's gonna hold some type of guilt too, because he was in her home, and then it's going, like you said, I should have got him
What
some
I
help.
coulda
or I-
did.
Yeah,
What
What I
coulda,
could have
shoulda.
did.
Woulda, coulda,
Because like
shoulda.
we said, something happened, and I know it did. This boy has been threatening and doing stuff to his grandmother probably for a long time. So I know something happened, and she probably just ignored it because she already knew that his parents wasn't there. So I don't want to just give up on him. A lot of people do, and with our culture, it's a little different on how we discipline our kids than other cultures
Right.
discipline their kids. And then she just, you know, because they start off young. They be having tantrums, throwing stuff, hitting at you, cussing at
Girl.
you, kicking at you, all type of stuff.
Be in Target
So,
looking at them kids like, oh yeah,
girl, I be looking at them sideways, be like, if I was your motherfucking child,
Girl,
I
just wanna
would've pulled
pinch you
your
when
ass
you
up
walk
and took
by.
you in the
I'm like-
bathroom and whooped your little ass.
just pinch him. I'm gonna pinch you
Right.
for your mama.
And pinch them real good. That stuff be hurting. They know.
we live in a day and age now where
Yeah.
if you did that, you'd get checked by the mama.
That's true.
And I want somebody to check
That's
me.
part of the problem.
Yeah, and I want somebody to check me because first off, you're not gonna tell me how to raise my kids.
Right.
If I'm not beating my kids
Right.
and you don't see no marks on them and you don't see them bleeding out of controlly,
Yep.
you're not finna tell me how to discipline mine. I will fucking go off on you quick.
And then- but
you
I-
can be old.
Yeah.
You can be whatever. I don't care. I'm
Because
going to fuck off.
Each child needs their own discipline.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm learning that from having multiple children now. What work with one child do
Ain't
not
gonna
work
work
with
for
the
the other
next.
ones. Absolutely.
And the thing about it is, I remember Brianna was like about 2 years old, and she could talk really good. And she said to me, she asked me for something. I told her, no, I don't have no money for it. She said, you got a credit card, don't you?
She's
I
smart.
I told her legs up, and the lady behind me was like, "You shouldn't be putting your hands on her." And I said,
You
"And
should
when-"
mind your damn business.
And I turned around and I said, "And when she grow the fuck up and knock you upside your head and steal your purse, you gonna wish I would have beat her ass right now and check that shit now."
Right. I don't like that. You should mind your damn business.
Mind
First
your
off.
business. And each kid needs something different. You know, you one kid you could just straight say something and they gonna do it. The other
Absolutely.
kid you gonna have to damn near beat them to the inch of their life before they like, oh, okay.
Before they get the point. Like, oh yeah, I did something wrong.
You right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people, I used to tell my ex-husband all the time, you gotta bust your head on the concrete and have your brain splatter all out on the side before you learn your damn lesson. And he'd be like, yeah, you right. It don't make no sense. Like you do it wrong one time, why would you go back and do it again?
Do it again, dummy.
You know, some people just hard-headed, you know?
Like,
But it's
you
like-
know, that's kids. That's adults too.
Because
We
he
do
was a
some
grown
shit
ass
right.
man. But you know, it's just this shit like this just have me like, how much can you blame yourself because you doing what you think is what's right,
right.
and you trying to give a kid what you think is the best for them, but then when you get to the point where you are fearful of a child that is in your home, I could never, because you're not gonna scare me. I could never. An
That's the
animal,
end.
I'm not gonna be scared of no animal in my shit.
Yeah.
You gonna get the fuck out, and the kid too.
The
The animals, once them damn dogs and cats start turning on you,
Yeah,
you gotta
because
get
they
the
do.
fuck on.
They do turn on you.
I'm not gonna be scared in my own fucking house.
Period.
Not in my own house.
Period.
Not gonna do it. Not with a child, an animal, a man, nobody. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel you on that.
because this is my shit. Like, how you gonna intimidate me in my shit? And then, oh my God, let me tell you, if I was that grandma and he shot me, I had to have been knocked out because, boy, if you don't kill me, you gonna wish you fucking did. Because we would have been in that bitch fighting.
Hustling, yeah, we would have been fighting.
Because what the fuck? How
Yeah.
dare you? And I can only imagine what she's going through. Could you
An
imagine?
older lady doing that? But like I said, she was probably intimidated by him.
Girl, that'd be
This is probably not the first time he said something like that.
that'd be the day I invoke my
Neil,
Medea.
I'm not completely understanding your comment. Neil Stevens from YouTube said he didn't stay with his grandmother alone.
Someone else.
That's
stayed
my
with him?
dad. That's my dad.
Okay, when he
Oh,
said
Neil
son didn't stay
Stevens.
with his grandma alone, you would agree in my loan get put out of the house where his mother and stepfather lived. So that was the comment.
I don't know. My
Yeah,
dad
it was
does
kinda
talk.
scrambled. It
He
was kinda
does talk to
scrambled.
text because my dad's older.
Okay,
he do
get
talk
it
to
together
text.
for your daddy. What's your daddy trying to say?
I don't know what he's trying to say,
Hey,
but
well, maybe we're gonna put the call in line up on the screen just for
Yeah,
the
let's
Yeah.
put it up
I
now
was
because
gonna
we're
say,
getting close to the time. So
Daddy,
I want
if the number come
any
up, call me.
callers, you know, if you,
313-723-0481. You see the number right there.
yeah,
at the
right
bottom.
there.
Right
If you
there.
if you have an opinion about it or it's anything you want to discuss and your opinion on how you feel about it, call us. Call
Yeah,
us.
let us know how you feel
Let
about
us know
it.
because you know you've been hearing what we've been feeling about it, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cuss today. Because I got a feeling about it because I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't imagine, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still just hurting. I'm just imagining the parents like
my God.
now the aftermath, like how they feeling, like they can't see their kid. They looking
Yeah.
into their bedrooms. They not getting them up ready for school anymore. Like fuck that. That's
And then, like, too, you got to think about what about all the kids that survived?
They're
That
that they
witness
got to
that.
go
They're
through
seeing
that.
it.
Now-
That
now
seen
what-
it as a
And,
child.
and what do you do in the aftermath of that? How do you
They
how
gonna
do you
definitely
build,
need some help.
build structure and safety in these children?
They ain't
to
gonna wanna go back.
to school.
They ain't gonna want
to
to.
ever feel safe anywhere. Like, how do you do that? I remember one time, you know, like with losing the faith in the cops, kids do that. I remember Brianna's dad was pulled over one time in the rain, and they're like slamming him up against the car, and she's in the back seat of the car screaming and hollering and crying. And from that moment, she never liked the police. Now this is where my bad parenting comes in, because we used to watch a lot of Medea.
Yeah,
And
Medea.
She would be like, I hate the po-po. I hate the po. But she hates them because of what she watched them do to her dad.
What she been through, yeah.
So, you know, how do you try to rebuild that faith? And
Yeah, they definitely
my
gonna.
dad is a police officer. So it's like, okay, but you're not scared of Pop. So, you know,
Oh.
you have to think of it like that. Did
So
he
he corrected it, but he still stumbled. But I think I can re-agree. To
You
this.
got it
Okay.
now.
Yeah, so he just said you're right. He didn't stay with his grandmother for long. He got into an argument with his stepmother.
Oh, so he
maybe
hasn't
So he
even
was
been
living
there
with
long.
his
He
dad.
wasn't, he wasn't even been there. He hadn't been there that long. So maybe he was living with his dad and the stepmother got into an argument.
So
with
where's the
stepmother.
mama? That's what we need. I want to know where's the
Now,
mother.
see, that's another
Yeah,
thing.
'cause that was reverse of what I said.
Yeah.
The narrative
Yeah.
I said, I thought it was him and his mom
'Cause
possibly.
they
at home
probably couldn't
with the
fucking
dad
handle
not there.
him. Yeah, they
And
couldn't
then
probably
we-
handle him. You gonna throw him off of the grandma.
Now that's some possible abandonment issues too. Now your dad is possibly choosing.
Yeah, so I know
a
it's.
stepmom
I know
over
he
the
probably.
child.
Yeah,
child.
I know he probably was having some shit going on within himself.
Ooh, that dad,
but it
how
still
that
doesn't give
dad
you the
feel
right.
now. Ooh,
He gotta feel like shit.
He
gotta
do,
feel
but
like
shit, he couldn't control
he
himself.
couldn't do nothing. Yeah,
He couldn't do
He
nothing.
couldn't do, yeah.
But did they try?
That's the thing.
Or
I
are
don't
we
think
do we ever try, or are
No.
we just pawning off
Yeah.
the issue
Yeah.
and the problem to somebody else to
something.
fix it?
Something.
Yeah.
Soon as something
You
happens,
putting a Band-Aid on
we
it.
like,
Right.
You
huh?
didn't fix it.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. When there's a big, huge problem, you cannot put
Yeah.
a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound.
Hell
It's going
no.
to bleed out.
Heck
It's
no,
not going to
man.
fix it. You know, and that's what we, you know, this is more than just, oh, he sneaks out the house and goes to parties.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, these some deep rooted
This
issues
is
that
some
was going
deep-rooted
on.
issues.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Daddy. Find out where that mama at. Go ahead.
Yeah,
while
we
you,
knew- we
while you
do.
still awake and
Yeah,
you
do
got
some
10 minutes.
investigation.
Go do some-
Where's the mama?
tell
What
me
happened?
later.
What
'Cause
happened?
where's the
Then why
mama?
would y'all put the you know that child is going through some problems shit. He cussed her out and he was going through what he was going through with her. Why you think he wasn't gonna do that to his grandmother? And she older. So she probably was putting up with a lot of stuff. And this wasn't even a long period of time that she had him. Nah.
Or maybe he did that as a way to get back at his father. Because possibly maybe that was his dad's mom, right? Could be a stepmom.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So you
just never
putting-
know what nobody's
you putting this
thinking.
woman over me and
Yeah.
put me out of the house because me and her fell out.
Yeah.
And send me to your mama
Mama house.
Now I'm gonna pop her and go and cause all kinds of hell.
Which he did. He caused all types of hell.
Oh, child.
And that's
As a
what
way
I'm
to
saying.
get a response. That
Yeah.
was really for dad.
Yeah, because today a lot of people woke up and they didn't even want to send their kids to school because of
Oh,
what
man.
happened. You know, just the feeling as a parent, you don't even want to send your kids to school, but we just can't look at that and be like, well, hey, I'm not gonna send my child to school
Can't let
because
that dictate how you live your life.
how you
Right.
live your life in fear, because we can't, even just with COVID, how people just were so scared just to go outside and do
Yeah.
anything anymore because they was living in fear, and we can't live our life in fear for the rest of our life. Things does happen, and you know, we just gotta pray about it. We gotta pray over them as they leave the household, and we just gotta hope for change in this world. You know, so as of as a mother, like I said with you, Amber, what advice can you give someone that may be going through some type of issue with their kids and they not bringing it to no one's attention, or they just brushing it up under the rug? Like, what advice can you give them as a mother, or what advice can you give, period, and you just want to let the world know about the incident and what happened?
All I can say is that when it comes to children, there is no right or wrong. You just have to do what you think is best at that time. And I say about everything because I think that's life in general. But
True.
when you see a problem,
Very true.
you have to fix it. It's like I said earlier, you can't put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. You
Very true.
have to, if there's surgery that needs to be done, and that means if a kid is acting up, you need to investigate and all the things
Definitely
that you can
address
do
it.
for that child so that you can help that child. What's the main thing we want our children to be? We want them to be better than us, right? We want them to
Absolutely.
be healthy, law-abiding citizens that we could be proud of, you know, and everybody has their struggles and their issues.
They do.
But to ignore them and to sweep them under the rug, that's not helping you as the parent or the child.
Nope,
You know?
not at all.
So I would always say is this, you know, don't too much worry about what everybody else may be thinking or looking, because somebody is always going to have something to say, and they're going to have their own opinion about what you do, you right, you wrong, this and that. But do what you feel is best for you and your
For
child,
you.
and don't sweep it under the rug.
Nope.
I might be a little too much, because always I'm asking the kids, you okay? You all right? You okay? And they be telling me, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. But
It's a good thing that you do that, because as a parent, we do want to make, because sometimes kids feel like the parent ain't doing that enough.
Yeah.
You never asked me how I'm doing. You never asked me how my day was. You never talked to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing that you do that.
Yeah, and I do, and I try, like, with all my kids, because we're a blended family. I think I more so think about it because I want everybody to feel comfortable in the home. I want my boys to feel like the home is theirs. I don't want Brianna to feel like the home is no longer hers and mine. You know, we do our things and that, but I always ask them, because even though I have only been the stepmom to the boys for almost 3 years, I can tell when something is wrong with them. You know,
Already.
I can already,
Because you paid attention to
because I
them.
pay attention. I've learned each one of them individually,
Yep.
and I can always tell when it's something
You took
wrong.
time out to do that.
And I've learned when to push and when not to push. I hate going to bed angry. I want to fix everything, but I'm learning I can't. And so it's like, with that whole situation, now we got a little more information about, like, him not being with the grandma long, and it's just kind of, to me, it almost seems as though this child has just been pushed off and abandoned by the people who were supposed to take care of him
And love him.
And like you said, when he sent those messages, that was his cry out for help, for
Yeah.
somebody to stop him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, nobody got to him in time to stop it. So he was looking for some type of attention.
And that's what a lot of people do when they in that type of state. They don't want to do it, but then it's like something on this shoulder saying do it, and it's like something on this shoulder saying don't do it, so it's like he's playing advocate with himself, because he got all this going on with his mind and his head, and he just don't know. That's why he posted. So anytime somebody is posting, they writing a note or they doing anything like that, those are definitely signs that they are seeking out for some attention and some help. Because I feel like if we were paying more attention to his social media and his TikToks, I think something could have been avoided.
Yeah.
It couldn't got to that point where he went to the school. Maybe it probably was going to do something within his home, but
right.
not make it to the point of stepping out the home
Right.
and going to the school.
So like you said, something was gonna happen, but
Yeah.
it could have not been so catastrophic had we
Yeah.
paid a little more attention.
If we would have paid a little bit more attention, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't got to that point.
That's it. It's so sad. Like
So-
those babies that did make it through though. I'm worried about them too because
Now they got to deal with this tragedy, and they got to get some help because they're going to need it because they saw it. They witnessed it at a young age, even walking up into the school just to say, well, mommy, I don't want to go back to school because
Right.
this happened. They're going to have a fear in their heart.
And you think about it, a lot of these kids are very small. Let's think about these kindergartners that were in school that day. This is their first year of school
Girl.
because COVID kept preschool and first grade. And so this is the first full year of schools really being back in session
Yes.
since COVID. And then to be so small and experience this plus COVID, these poor babies.
Yeah, even the adults. It's just,
Yeah.
it's sad. It's very sad. So my advice is that we as adults, we do have to tend to our kids more. We need to check up on them. We need to talk to them. Take time out our day just to ask them how they doing, how was their day, see what's going on with their just daily life. You know, if they want to, some kids will talk you up a storm,
Yes.
and that's fine. Just hear them out and just be there, and then shit, that's your house. So you have the right to evade their privacy, baby. Because
Okay.
if you're not paying no bills, you don't tell me what the fuck to do in my house. So I have the right to evade your privacy, and I will go in the room. I will check the room out. I will go down there, from time to time. I will check to make sure and see what's going on. And even when they not in the home, you still can thoroughly check or whatever the case may be, or do whatever. However, as a parent, do whatever you feel is comfortable and what's needed, because this shit should have been, it was needed. It was needed that someone checked up on and see what was going on within his social media. It was needed that the parents should have, or the grandmother should have looked in the room and was checking the room out. It was needed that the grandmother should have probably talked to the boy, because obviously he was thrown onto her. So he already had some abandonment issues, like we were saying
Yeah.
earlier, within himself. So it was definitely something going on within him, and he was definitely crying out for help. And it saddens me that he ended his life, and he ended these 19 people and 2 adults, 21 people total. He ended their life like he did. I wish it would have went differently, but the world that we are living in is out of our control. Ain't nothing that we can pretty much to do. But I feel though that the schools, districts, elementary, middle, high school, we need more security guards.
Yep.
We need more metal detectors in these schools. I don't care if they suburban schools. We need it. It's needed.
Stop getting so comfortable.
I feel like it's, what I'm saying? It's needed because that's what helped. We never had this issue back in the days when we was going to school. You ain't never really hear about this shit, especially in the city schools, because we had the metal
had
detectors.
metal
They was checking the book bags.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They was checking your stuff, and then all the doors was closed,
Yep.
and no one could come in and no one can go out. And then, we just gotta, it's needed.
It's needed.
It's needed that we look into this, because this shit is going to continue to happen if nothing gets done. We need more security guards. We need more protection for our kids. We need the metal detectors in all the schools. It's needed because the little kids are bringing stuff to school too now.
Yeah.
If you ain't heard, these
Yeah.
kids, I know the one little boy had brought a gun, and then the other little boy had bought some liquor, and he bought some
Yeah.
edibles.
Yep.
So we need the metal detector, and we need the search.
The
We need
searches.
everybody
Yep,
to be
yep, yep.
searching in these lockers and searching these kids as they enter into the school. And I really think that would save a lot of shit today in the school district if that happens, So we just need to speak up. Speak up. If y'all see it, if the parents can't see it, and if some kids that know him, if they see it, or whoever that's going through something, if they would have just spoke up anonymously and said something, I figured that would have changed too.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Speak up. They don't got to know that it's you. Speak
Right.
up and say, well, on his social media page, we saw him doing this. We
Right.
saw him doing that. I think somebody needs to check on them.
Right.
Go to the schools and tell them, principal or the teachers. I think somebody need to do something because we saw him posting all this, and we don't want him to come to the schools knowing that this shit happened.
Right.
So say something. You know what I'm saying? And for him to
think-
just pick the elementary school, because like we said earlier, I really don't think he was intended
I don't.
to do the elementary school. It just so
Still,
happened
but
he
it
happened.
was all of the premeditated components. That
Yeah.
let you
Right.
know. So between this situation and the one that we just seen in Michigan at the Oxford High School,
Yep,
right,
that's school too.
where there was a lot of premeditated signs like the
Social media again.
the deer head being displayed up there at the school maybe a week before that shooting happened. You know what I mean? Stuff
Yep.
like stuff
Yep.
that they didn't take serious.
Nope.
And we need to. That's just a observation that we need to take these signs more serious.
Yeah, just like 2 weeks ago prior to that, it was at the flea market in Texas.
yep.
And I meant to speak on it, but yeah, it left, 2 people dead and several people injured. Same thing. He was 18 years old. We need to really tend to our kids and see what's going on with this young generation.
Right.
What is going on within their minds and their brains to make them think of doing this shit, like having these guns. Why is it needs to be a legal age? Fuck 18.
Right.
No, yeah,
it needs to be
yeah.
adult
Like
age.
25.
Fuck 18. It needs to be adult age where
25.
they purchasing stuff.
20. You can't
Right.
you can't buy
Right.
a gun until you're 25.
18.
And they gotta specify because these are like hunting
that.
rifles that they're getting. You know, you can't buy a handgun at 18, but you can get a hunting rifle at like 15, 16.
And we need to reverse that, maybe. You know what I'm saying? You can't buy a hunting rifle legally, you know what I'm saying, until you're 25. You know what I mean? Unless you are.
It's the parents though. They teaching their kids young to do this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the only time you should be able to use it is if you are in supervision of an adult.
Of adult, period. And if you're not,
You can't
those
buy that
guns
gun
shouldn't
when you-
even be around. Even in a household. If anyone right now has a gun, put it up where the kids don't know the safe number. And a lot of people be like, well, I tell my kids the safe number just in case anything may happen. And that may be good, but it's not good.
At least 21 to buy guns
Yeah.
legally, period.
Period.
And then 25
21.
to buy hunting rifles.
21.
'Cause it
So
looks
they need to
like-
change that age.
Greg just said he saw some statistics that say
70%.
70% of mass shootings are done by kids.
Kids 18
or
and under. Ain't that some shit?
And it's always with some type of assault rifle.
Yep.
Because they can go to Walmart and just buy it.
That's why it needs to be a change. And if we don't change, this world ain't gonna change. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse. And I don't know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta pray. We just really gotta pray as we just leaving out our household every day. Because anything can happen in our household. Somebody can just be doing some crazy shit on the outside and just shoot your house up
Yeah.
by mistake, thinking it's something else. So you just never know. We just gotta pray. We just in this world where we just have to pray and we hope change. Anything else you want to say, Amber?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, Bob. Thank you for you know what I'm saying. You my host now.
I know, I got me a little crown.
So we'll be doing this every Wednesday at
Every
9
Wednesday,
o'clock
yes.
p.m. She said what she said. Period. You guys gotta stay tuned. Catch up on our latest episodes.
Yes.
Catch up on the old episodes. YouTube, 7 Mile Radio
Yes,
Live on
yes.
Facebook. Catch up with our stuff. And I appreciate all our viewers out there in the world. Everybody took time to make a comment. I appreciate you guys. And I'm just praying for these families that lost
Yeah.
their loved ones. Heavenly name Jesus, I pray. I'm praying and gonna continue to keep praying.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. We need a change. Bye.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.